Hello and welcome back to our new product party. We're kicking off with all about nature right now, and we're going to be using two of our nature kind of sets. I do like getting a variety of stamps and bundles. So throughout the day, I'll be sharing different styles of stamps and bundles. So you don't have to worry. So you'll get a good take on all sorts of different things. And again, I do have swap cards that I will be sharing along the way. I will do a separate little video on the swap cards so that those of you that are on YouTube, when I'm posting, because you're not seeing it on Facebook, you'll be able to see all those. And then don't forget that the swag bag filled with all of your class, your new product party class, is available. And I don't think I posted the link. So I will post the link right after this video. If you're watching on YouTube, it is in the description. So don't worry about that. You'll already have it. But our new product party swag bag contains all the class kits that you'll need. You'll get a PDF tutorial sent to you, and that PDF tutorial will include the 6 project presentation today, as well as all the pillow gifts that you're getting in your swag bag. I am going to include the tutorial on how to make all those. So you're getting a pretty large tutorial. So it's totally worth it. The class is $54 and gets mailed directly to you. Now, if you live outside the United States or you're already a demonstrator and don't necessarily need to purchase the class kit, you can purchase our tutorial only option, and that is $25. So, and that's because it includes so many different projects in there. All right, I'm going to flip my camera down. We're going to get started, and I'm going to share with you this suite of products that we're going to be using. So I just have to grab one other thing. I realized I didn't grab the paper out. Well, you know what? I got the sampler out. That'll do. All right, so close your eyes for a moment. I will flip my camera over, and then we'll get started. Oh, not finished. All right, so this is our Lily of the Valley. It comes with, oops, there goes my paper that I'm going to need. There's a stamp set and a set of coordinating dies. In the suite, there's also this amazing embossing folder, which we will be using for the card that we're going to be making. And this is going to be your project 1 from your class kit. But here is, I like to put together a little sampler here. And this is really to benefit myself so that I start exploring and playing and crafting with the bundles that I get. So what I like to do is I like to die cut everything, especially when they're more intricate pieces or there's a lot of dies. So then I cut them out and I'm like, okay, I start actually getting some card ideas. I'm like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. And not only card ideas, but I can get some scrapbook pages too. So I will probably post scrapbook pages tomorrow. I'm not going to be doing those today. That's not part of the class. So but it's just some alternate ideas. The other thing I like to do is, well, in this case, there is an embossing folder. So I went ahead and embossed it. Now, it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I have I had a lighter sample here earlier. Not sure I did. Oh, here it is. Oh, no. Well, I pulled it aside and I put it in a good place. Wouldn't you know? Oh, here it is. So you're going to see it in action in just a few moments. I have your kit will already have this piece done for you, okay? So let's just go back to what else we're working with. So we're working with our Valley in Bloom Designer Series paper. So what I also like to do is I create my little sampler here. It's a quick reference for me because it includes all the colors, and I can quickly use this and know what colors I'm going to use, and I can see the different patterns. So your one sheet is double-sided. So this would be 1, this would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I'm going to put that aside because I won't need that. Actually, I need to put this back in its home because if I don't, then what happens is I misplace them. So let me put it back in its little party bag. Okay, so let's grab out your project kits. So you need project kit number 1 right here. and it's called Lily of the Valley Blackout. You will also need your designer series paper. So your little sampler here of your Valley and Bloom, you're going to need that. And then you'll need some embellishments. So have those handy. I'm going to put mine up to the top there. And I also just want to get my feed going. And I do apologize for being late. I don't know why my husband does this, but, you know, there's times he's like, I got to talk to you. I got to talk to you. Oh, okay, but I'm doing a live. No, I just got to tell you something really quick. You know how that goes. Or, you know, my son calls and does the same thing. Or my mom. It happens. Life happens. No control. All right. So I can see that I'm live right now. So if you would, let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're watching. Ask any questions. If I don't answer during the live here, I will come back and I will answer them. I'll review the comments and answer any questions you have. All right. So I'm going to move my things off to the side. So, in our little project kit here, and I'm not going to be giving you measurements because they're all in the tutorial, so you'll have all of those. Actually, we're not going to even be using our paper this time. I forgot that I did something different with this one. All right. So, we've got our piece of, this is our Barely Blush ribbon, so you are going to get about a 22-inch piece of that. We have a envelope. Oh, this is what we're using our paper for. Sorry, we are using our paper. I have a piece of Lemon Lime Twist. I know, bold, bright, but it's going to go great with this card. I have a piece of Berry Burst. And then I went ahead and I embossed that floral spray embossing folder onto a piece of basic white. Now, normally you use the embossed side, so the side that's kind of popped up. We are actually going to flip it over and we're going to use the bottom side. All right, so I'm going to move, and you have a 3/4 inch strip of Berry Burst. That's going to be for our sentiment later. I'm moving all these off to the side because I'm going to bring in my paper here. And this embossing folder is pretty large. So, I mean, you can see how big it is. It does fit in our standard cut and emboss machine. All right. One other thing I just need to get ready. I just need to plug in my heat tool because I'll be using that. All right. And I'm going to use this other side, what I've already made a mess on. So let's grab this. First thing we're going to need is some colors. So the colors that we're going to be using are going to be Berry Burst, Darling Duckling, Granny Apple Green, and Lemon Lime Twist. This coordinates with my card base, and these coordinate with the colors in the designer series paper. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to open these, and I'm going to be a little risky here. Oh, you know what I didn't do? One thing I like to do when I get new colors here is I like to take off my little label here. I actually just peel this whole thing off. Throw that away. I don't need it. And then I'll take my little tabs here, and I like to put them on the front here. So I put one on the front. Now this goes with any of our stamp pads, including the new ones. And then I take another one. I'm going to take this one here. I usually put them all over the place, but for now, because I need to get going here, I'm going to put this one right on the inside. Just get it slid in right in there. Oh, it didn't. I don't have it slid in there. Hold on. I got to move this back so I can see. Old people eyes. All right. All right. So now I have that there. Why that's important is because I'm going to be opening up a lot of different stamp pads, a lot of different colors. So I need to make sure that I know what color I'm working with. Because if I accidentally stamp in a different color that I don't want, kind of, you know, ruin your project. Well, not really. I mean, you can restamp it, but I can't believe I hadn't done these. All right. So I'm just going to go from my light to my dark here. My Berry Burst is on the end. Okay, so I'm going to start with daubers. I have several daubers, and what I've done is I usually label my daubers on the colors I use, so that way in future I don't have to keep grabbing a fresh dauber every time I do a project. So I'm just putting my daubers right in front of the colors here, so I have them. All right, I'm going to start with my Berry Burst, and I'm just going to put some color on here. I daub off once, so it's not, I don't know, it doesn't give me a big blotch. And I'm going to start in the middle of my flower, and I'm going to work my way out. All right. And don't worry if you go outside the edge a little bit, it's okay. So I'm just going to keep going through, and if I want to add some more color, definitely add more. And I'm going to turn this as I go. It just, I find it easier to keep turning this. I need to move these up a little bit. All right. So this is a quick, easy way. You can use a blending brush. You can use a sponge, whatever you have. I like the daubers. I have a little bit more control over it versus a sponge. Plus, we don't sell sponges anymore. So I really just like to use things that we have in stock. All right. Just need to kind of, all right, so there's my flower. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my Darling Duckling here, and I'm going to start in the middle of my little daisy looking flowers. All right. I know, it doesn't look pretty yet. It will. It really will. All right. I'm going to click over here and refresh my screen, and hopefully I see any comments coming through. Oh, I don't know why Facebook does this. All right. Well, I'll just have to leave it there. And as soon as I see something pop in, I'll click back. All right. So I'm going to keep going. I'm looking for all my little flowers here. It looks like I got them all. All right. Next, maybe add a little more color. I can always go back and add color, right? And I want to see. All right. I'm going to take my Lemon Lime Twist now, and I'm going to do these smaller kind of leaves. Kind of turning it to get inside. And just looking for my other leaves. I'm also going to do my Lily of the Valley flowers. All right. Now, what did I do with my... Uh-oh. I have a white gel pen that I need to use, and I don't know where I put that. Oh, here it is. Found it. All right. Because I'm going to be using this. So that's a new product too. All right. So I'm going to keep going. And when I'm doing the Lily of the Valley flowers, I'm doing it pretty lightly. I just want to get some color on it. Go for my smaller ones here. All right. And let's see. I've got some over here. I'm going to leave the little, there's like little crosses there, little plus signs. I'm going to leave those as is. All right. Now I'm going to take my Granny Apple Green, which is a darker green, and I'm going to put in, woo, I got a little too inked on that one. All right. Well, guess we're going to roll with it. Yeah, once you have ink on, it's really hard to get off. So kind of test it out before you go on your paper, which is not what I did, but that's okay. I'm going to be covering a lot of it anyways. All right. So I just kind of go around, get the other pieces. Now I got to make sure that I'm the same kind of dark on each one here. Yeah, I wasn't planning on going that dark. All right. Okay, so now that we've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and just move my ink pads out of the way. I'm leaving them open because I'm probably going to come back and add a little more color. But in the meantime, I'm going to grab my new black hybrid embossing, or my hybrid basic black. And I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to run it along the top. It's going to fill in the white spaces and anything that's raised. I know, it still doesn't look like much. Just trust me. It is a really cool technique. You can, you know, make that as dark as you want, and you don't have to try, you know, coloring in your basic white. You're using your stamp pad to do that work. So you can see some places I have a little bit lighter, some places a little darker. That's totally fine. Now I can see some spots here that I don't have filled in, so I'm going to come back with my dauber here. Just get some on there. You want to wait a moment for that ink to dry. And I've got a little bit of green there I need to get, because if you don't let that dry, it'll kind of blend into your other ink areas. Okay, I think I'm good with that. All right. Now I'm going to close all these stamp pads. I've got the coloring I want. Stack them all out of the way. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move this piece of paper for the moment. I'll bring it back. All right, so now this is the direction I want to go. I'm going to take my white gel pen, and these are new, so I like to make sure I have it primed here. Uh-oh. This is the new one. Okay. Let me see what's going on. No, I don't know what happened here. There we go. Okay. All right. And I'm going to come back in and I'm going to color some of these Lily of the Valley flowers. I'm just going to make them pop out a little bit more. Now, if it's, you know, part of it's green, that's fine, because if if you've seen these before, you know it has a little bit of that green kind of touch to the white flower. My son has a ton of these growing in his yard. I used to, but we pulled a lot of them out. They're supposed to be poisonous to dogs, so I had taken them out. All right. So I didn't really add a whole lot. I just added some. All right. So I'm just going to wipe that off. That seemed to have gotten a little clogged. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to put this back the right way. I'm going to take my ribbon here, and I'm going to go ahead and tie a bow. Get towards the top. I can always slide my ribbon around. And I see that I'm getting ink on my hands, so my project may have not been quite dry yet. It just usually takes, a couple seconds, but let's get this added. I'm going to grab my hand sanitizer to get my hands clean before I do more work, because I don't want to transfer my ink everywhere. All right. One more. All right. Get that all rubbed in. Okay, now let's grab the rest of our kit contents there. So I've got my lemon lime twist for my card base, and I've got my berry burst. So I'm going to go ahead and move my bow like that. We're going to grab our ribbon scissors here and give our bow a little haircut. I like to dedicate one pair of scissors just to ribbon cutting, because that way it doesn't fray my ribbon. When you're cutting with paper, it dulls your snips and stuff. All right, I'm going to adhere these two together, so let's grab our seal. I'm going to use my Seal Plus, actually, because this is such a raised image. I really want to make sure I have a good, strong adhesive. Liquid glue would probably be better, but I'm using this right now. Right in the middle. Okay. So I'm going to put this right on Berry Burst. Now, this is just an 1/8 inch bigger, so just take a moment to line it up. All right. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. All right. So have any of you gotten this product already? Have any of you tried it out or checked it out online? The paper is just, I fell in love with the paper. And then I was like, oh, I like that paper so much. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get the whole thing. So I'm just like you. I fall in love with one thing. I'm like, oh, now I'm going to have to get it all. All right. So there we go. Now I've got my strip of Berry Burst here. I'm going to grab my Versamark. And we're going to grab the sentiment Happy Birthday from our stamp set. And now, over the next couple of months, you'll see me be using these bundles more and more. I just gotten them a little while ago, so I just have to do some designing. All right, so I'm just stamping in the middle of that strip. Oh, before I take that off, I'm going to grab my embossing powder because I forgot. All right, and take my strip here. And get my embossing powder on that. Now I have my fan going, which is not a good thing when you're working with embossing powder. Okay. And now I need my tweezers. Where did they go? Otherwise I'm going to burn my fingers. And I really don't feel like burning my fingers. I have a little tool caddy. And it got hidden behind some of the other stuff. All right, so I'm just going to take it and hold it like that. I'm going to cover up my embossing powder. Move my Versamark out of the way. Actually, I don't think I'm going to be using these two, so I'm going to just put that right here for a moment. And let's get our embossing tool. So I'm going to heat up my tool just for a few seconds before I actually heat emboss this. I find if I have my tool heated up before I start embossing, it just works a little bit better. Kind of like your oven, you know. Preheat it. All right. And I don't want to get too close to my desktop either, so. But I'm trying to show you how it changes. This is our Wow White Embossing Powder. It's a really fine embossing powder, and I really like that because it actually melts better and more even. You know, when you have a thicker embossing powder, sometimes it leaves kind of a chunky look. This does not. All right. Let's take our snips here, and we're just going to cut this at an angle here. And then I'm going to come back over here, do the same thing over here. We're going to grab some more dimensionals. Yes, we are. And one. I don't like my pieces to like get pushed down, so I'm adding enough dimensionals so it stays popped up. I probably use more dimensionals than other people, but you know what? It's worth it. All right, and I'm going to put this in the lower corner right here. All right, so this was my original one, and oh, look, it's a secret word. Write down your secret word. So our first secret word of the day is inspire. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we're playing I Spy with my Stampin' I. You're going to be collecting 6 words today and then filling out the entry form, and I'm going to be drawing a prize from everyone that submits that form by Tuesday. All right, let's go ahead and get it inside here. I didn't realize I didn't have one in there. So I thought do I have a piece of my kit? Where did my kit go? I don't know where I put my envelope, so hold on. Let me just cut a piece. I know, it happens. I have to laugh at myself because as organized as I think I'd be, I always have something missing, right? Now, when I send out my classes, don't think I miss things. I double, triple, quadruple check when I'm sending out classes. So don't worry, I'll have that. So we need to stamp our inside. I'm going to bring back in that paper so we can stamp a little bit on the inside. So I'm just going to take a look here, and I really like those, and I like this one too. I think for grins and giggles, I am going to just use the large one. You know why? Because I don't have to color anything then. So I do need a larger block. So I'm grabbing this block right here. And I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green because that's one of the colors I used in the front. And we're just going to ink that up. With a larger stamp, I tend to take my stamp pad to my stamp. All right. We're going to flip it over. And I am just going to just put it right kind of at an angle here. You know, I'm going to go right there. All right. All right, so we got that. And now I want to stamp to one of the nicest people I know. And I'm going to stamp that in my Berry Burst, just to give a little bit of different color in there, right? All right. All right, we're just going to stamp that. You know, I'm going to stamp it up in the corner. We're going to change things up and put things in different spots. So feel free to play around. Try positioning your sentiments, whatever, in different spots. They don't always have to go in the middle of a card. All right, so now that we've got this piece done, I'm going to grab this one right here. We're going to put this on the inside. I do try to be very careful when I've stamped red or purple. For some reason, those darker colors really take a little bit longer to dry. So I do want to be careful that it's dry because I don't want it to smudge. I made a very pretty card. I don't want to have to start over. Okay, so we've got that done. And again, our word is inspire, so don't forget to write that down. Let's go ahead and clean up our stamps, and then we're going to do our envelope, and we'll get to our next card. So each of the presentations today that I'll be doing will have 2 projects from your swag bag. And then I'll be doing ones in between for like the pillow gifts. Well, I'm sharing the pillow gifts, but I might do some things in between just to share some of the new products, talk about some of the new things. I'm not pulling up the catalog because I did that last week. I think it was last week. I did kind of a new catalog walkthrough, so you can always go back and watch that. I'll put the link in the comments here. It's on Facebook. I don't know that I might have loaded it up to YouTube already. I'll have to look back. All right, and I'm just putting my little things away here. So, all right. Now, I like keeping this sheet to keep my stamps from getting dusty. If your stamps feel like they're not sticky, like they're not sticking to the block, or they just don't feel like clean, run them under warm water. I mean, not soak them, just run them under warm water, or take your chamois and clean both sides, let it dry, and that way it'll get that kind of stickiness back. All right. So let's put this away. We're going to grab our Designer Series paper. Now, you grab whatever piece of Designer Series paper makes your heart happy. It doesn't matter which piece you use. And I do like storing my dies in the envelope they came in. So I tend to put my stamps and my dies in the same one, even though they come in separate ones. It's just easier for me to find them when I go back to find them. All right. So we're going to grab our paper. Now, where'd my envelope go? Here it is. Here's my envelope. And this is just a super simple way. Now, you could stamp on here as well. I'm just going to grab one of the colors here. I think I'm going to grab, I don't know. I could use either or. You know what? I'm going to, here, this is what's going to tell me. I'm going to use this one. Because if I really like this pattern on this side, I want to save that for another card, right? Okay. Just keeping it real here. All right, and so this is 4x6, so it's long enough to fit on the flap of your envelope here. So I just take some liquid glue, and one of my liquid glues has a little bit more in it. And yeah, I do like to use liquid glue for this part. I try to get as close to the edge as I can. And just keep it a thin bead, because if you have a really thick bead, not only will it goosh out all over, but it's going to leave little ridges. So All right, so I'm just going right up to that score mark right there. Give it a good press. Get that glue all spread out. Flip it over, and then I'm just going to take my snips here, and I'm just going to trim off that excess. Now you'll have a little bit, you can't get two flaps out of here, just so you're aware. But you can use that other piece for the inside of the card, and you'll be seeing that today. I do have a couple cards that I didn't do that on. All right. Okay, so there we go. A nice little colorful card. I hope this inspires you to make some cards like this. Try it with some of the stamps that you have and see what you come up with. All right, so that is our first card. I'm going to go ahead and put this in my little bag here so that I know what that is and which one that is. All right, there we go. Has this nice little home. We're going to pull out our second kit. And this is our new product party, project number 2, using Fern and Flora. And right after this piece, I'm going to show you some samples from both of the bundles. So let's grab, okay, where did my Fern and Flora go? Now, for this one, I'm going to let you know, when I ordered this, I did not get my sentiment set right away, because it was back ordered. All right, now I have my pieces cut out, so I'm not going to even open this envelope. All right, all of your pieces here are all what you see. So everything I have here, I die cut the pieces for you ahead of time. I actually took the Fern embossing folder, and that, I really love that embossing folder. So let me get that out. I want to show you this. We're going to be using this again because I think it's so pretty. Oh, I got a piece of paper in there. All right, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's just really pretty. I love ferns. I think they're gorgeous, and I don't know, to me this is very springy and summery. It makes my heart happy. It's the little things in life that make my heart happy. All right. Okay, and I just need to check my other little my little notes here, because I do have an agenda that I'm following, and I know it's kind of a shock, right? I'm that organized today. I am. Okay, now that's not my agenda sheet that I need. Here it is. Okay. All right. Because I think there's something else I need to do. All right. So yeah, so I didn't have my, there it is, okay. I didn't have my, okay. I'm still missing something here. Sorry, I was getting something ready for my next thing. Okay. We have a piece of Blackberry Bliss. So anyways, I've done the die cutting for you. I didn't get the stamp set that goes with this, but I will be. I was waiting for it to get back in order. I'm going to be using my banner sayings for my sentiment here. This does come as a bundle, so there is a coordinating stamp set. Again, I just don't have it because it wasn't available at that time. But everything, if it goes unavailable, it will come back. Don't worry. Some of the online ones may not. Okay, do I got all the pieces I need here? All right. I really like this card. It's really a cool card. Again, I'm going to be using that white gel pen. And I'm going to grab a piece of my designer paper. You decide what piece you want to use. There's so many different pretty pieces in here. And I like this piece right here. What's in the back? Oh, yeah, pretty too. All right. So again, you're getting 6 different pieces. All right, so on one side you have this Moonlit. This is Moonlit Flora. And the other side you have some more solid patterns. So floral pattern, floral fauna pattern, solid patterns. All right. Okay, so there's definitely more in your little kit there than you're going to be using. This is for the inside of our card, so I'm just going to put that with my Blackberry Bliss. And we're going to trim this piece down so it fits on our card front. So I'm going to do this at... Oops, I can't measure. I don't have my tutorial in front of me, so I'm kind of winging it on my measurements as I go here. So that's partially why I'm not telling you measurements, because I might get them wrong. But they're in the tutorial. Okay, so this is 1.5. So now I still have another piece. Now this will actually fit on the flap of my envelope. This is big enough too. So I can do that. All right, so I've got this piece. Oh, I need to cut it down to 5 1/4. I want the same length, or yeah, same length as my old olive right here. All right. So I have this. I'm going to adhere those two together. So let's take our seal. And I know I'm going to run out of seal at some point during the presentations today. I have another one here, but I know it's going to happen. All right. And I'm going to go right to the edge. All right, there we go. Just like so. I have a piece of Mossy Meadow that I ran through that fern embossing folder, and I'm going to be just putting that right here. Okay. Before I adhere that down, though, I do, oh, I can't stamp because I don't have that stamp. Shoot. Okay. Hold on, please. I got to think about what I'm going to do here. Okay. Trying to quick think. What am I going to do? I got to pivot here. We'll use our die. We're going to use one of the dies. Okay. And I think, let's just see how big this one is. So I will die cut these pieces for you. Don't worry. They'll be in your kit. One of the things I strongly recommend, oh my goodness, I can't lift this up. The tape they use on here to hold these dies in place is really thick. Okay. One of the things I do recommend on, oh, come on. Stop. Sorry, it got stuck. Is to use adhesive sheets with these. Oh, and what happened? Sorry, I'm trying to roll back on my chair and I got stuck. Okay. So adhesive sheets are your friend. Now, I've finally gone through this pack. This pack lasted me quite some time. And I'm going to take this and we're going to do Mossy Meadow here. So I just need to grab my Mossy Meadow. And when I send this to you, I will... I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second there. I don't know where I went. Okay. I'll send you a strip of Mossy Meadow with the adhesive sheet on. So this will be in your kit. There'll probably be 2 pieces so I can fit it in the envelope better. But so all I'm going to do here, I just got to turn this so I can get my, oh, it's right in my face. I'm just laying my strip down here. All right, press that down. And we'll take our scissors here. This is like a game changer when you're doing really delicate dies. Oh my gosh. It's like the best thing ever. Delicate dies or thin dies, like if you have a thin alphabet die, oh my goodness. This is definitely a game changer. So much easier to adhere your things together. All right, let's get out our die cut machine. We're going to run this through really quick. And, sorry, I had to lift one-handed from behind me. Okay. Let's grab our plates here. I was not prepared to do this. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, oh yeah, I have that, no problem. I forgot I didn't have the stamp set. I don't know how I forgot. Don't ask. It happens. I could have definitely used the Lily of the Valley with that as well, but I really wanted to show you this Fern and Flora. What made me fall in love with this is the dies. Totally. This is what I've seen so many samples with this, and I've gotten a lot of swaps with this. I was like, oh, I have to have that. All right, so these are very delicate. So again, trying to add glue to an adhesive to these, oh my goodness, would be really hard. So I'm just going to pop this out. Now it's a little harder to pop out just because it's got that adhesive sheet. So what you can do, like this one, that backing doesn't want to come out. What you can do is peel that off right away. I'm going to grab my take a pick tool here. And I'm just going to peel this off. This should help me be able to get that pulled out of my paper. When you are running this through your die cut machine, run it back and forth a couple of times just to make sure that the die is cut through everything. All right. So I'm going to put this one. Now this one's going here. I'm going to put this one. Now what I like about this is I can curve these. I probably should have done a different color, but we're going to add the little shapes in just a moment. All right. So again, I can curve this. So you see that the die is like this, but look, I actually am able to curve that around a little bit and make a different pattern. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this on. Uh-oh. Sometimes the adhesive catches the grain of the paper and pulls that. It happens. Just change your direction or grab your liquid glue. When all else fails, go glue. Go green. All right, so let's just put this right here. All right. And now I've got these little dies here. It kind of reminded me of butterflies. So you've got the whole piece. So this is one whole. No, my fingers are sticky. This is one whole die right here. So that die looks like this right here. Now in the stamp set there is a butterfly that you can cut out. Again, I don't have a stamp set. Okay. So we're going to just go ahead, and I felt I needed a little color pop in here. So I'm just going to adhere those down. I should have used my adhesive sheet with that. I didn't. So my apologies. A lot of the kits are already prepped. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and dot, dot. We'll use my pickup tool here. And, I'm just going to random. Oh, come on. Stop sticking to my finger and stick to my project. All right, I need to clean my hands. Again. Hand sanitizer, your friend. It gets the glue off. So your hands aren't sticky when you're assembling your cards. Oh, and that got crooked. Oh, well. Oh, well. It'll just have to be what it is. All right. So 1, 2. We're going to put some embellishments on there. So grab those embellishments out that you got with your kit. Just need to hold that down. All right. And I'm going to put one over here. I'm just going to put my glue right there because for some reason it doesn't want to. There we go. Right, I'm just going to take my glue bottle and push it down. Okay. Let's get this adhered to our card front. Our card base, I should say. All right. And I am going to grab my embellishments really quick. I haven't even opened this package. Woohoo! How exciting, we're opening a new package. Now this is actually, this embellishment that you're getting with this particular one goes with the Moonlit Floral Suite. And it is called Dewdrops. Yeah, Dewdrop Embellishments. There is another brighter one. I believe that one goes with, oh, come on. All right, normally this doesn't stick. I don't know why I'm having sticking issues today. All right, gotta throw that piece away. So anyway, I think there's adhesive on my scissors. Okay, we're gonna grab our sentiment's gonna go right here. Let's go ahead and stamp that. I might as well stamp the inside too. So here we go. Let's just move that aside. Let's grab our banner sayings here. And I'm going to use the I Can't Thank You Enough. Because, you know, I think everyone needs to be thanked and appreciated. Okay, can't thank you enough. And again, because I want a pop of bright, I'm going to use my Berry Burst. There we go. Let's get that clean right away. I'd like to get my red off my stamps right away. Red tends to stain your stamps. It's okay. It happens, and I get it, but I'd like to try and get them clean. All right. Okay. So we've got that. Now for the inside of the card, since again, I don't have any dies. I mean, I don't have a I lost my words. I lost my train of thought and my words. I don't have any stamps. We're just going to use a strip of our designer paper. So this is the paper that we had before. So we're just going to take this and get about a 3/4 inch there. Just make sure it's straight. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut that down to be 4 inches because that's how wide my card stock is in there. All right. Yeah, I was expecting to have the stamp set, so I'm sorry, I didn't have this one prepared as well. And I'm just going to leave it just a little bit higher than the bottom. All right, and if I didn't cut exactly perfect, I can just flip that over, trim it off. There we go. All right, let's put this on the inside of our card. Now, I had a scrap. You will not have this on the back of yours. Yours will be a nice, clean piece. My sample is not. All right. All right, so now we've got our little sentiment. So I can't thank you enough. Let's pop that up on dimensionals. And then we're going to add our little bling here. All right. I can't thank you enough. So I'm covering where those two ferns are overlapping. There we go. Okay. Let's bring in our embellishments. Now, here's a tip. So these have like the clear. If you want to use a color, you can definitely use your Stampin' Blends to color. So let's go ahead and color a couple of these. I'm just going to, you know what, I'm going to color this whole row because I know I'm going to be using this later. Okay. All right. Now, okay, I'm going for about our one. So I'm going to use a combination of my berry ones that I colored here. And we'll put this, I don't know, we'll put this over here. All right, and I'm going to put a couple of the lighter green ones, sprinkle them around. There we go. Okay, so I just got some little embellishments sprinkled around. All right, so that is the first two projects. Let's go ahead and add that piece of paper to our envelope, just like we did with the first card. If I can find where I put my card project so I can grab my envelope. I don't know what I did with it. Here it is. Oh, where's my envelope? There it is. Okay. So many times I put things aside. All right, I'm covering my glue there, and I have our other glue here. And again, use whatever designer series paper floats your boat. Oh, now that came out a lot. So sometimes your glue will gush out like that. It happens, I notice, when my room gets really warm. All right, so just as a FYI. So I'm just going to move my paper kind of back and forth a little bit. Give it a rub. I'm going to trim it out. See how that kind of got a little ruffled there because I had too much glue. All right. Alrighty, we'll get this piece done and we will move on. I want to share something else with you. So we have a new stamp set that comes with a punch. And it's really cute. It's called All Aflutter. It is a class that I'm currently offering. All right. And if you want that class, I'll have that class information posted. I'll do a post on the group here. But this is a card. So let's go ahead and bring our first card, our second card. There we go. I'm going to share some other samples. I'm going to share that All Aflutter class. And then we're going to take a break for a little bit. And we'll be back with more. All right. So I'm just putting my projects back in their little bags here so I know where they are. Oh, I got caught on my embellishment. There it is. Okay. Oh. All right, that doesn't want to go in because of the glue. All right. So now we're going to go to all right, so let's take a look at some of the other cards. So the original card that I was going to make was using the stamp set and coloring this in, using that white gel pen. But since I don't have the stamp set, I obviously can't do that. You know what I want to do? I do want to come back and I want to add some of that white gel pen. I feel like we can get this to pop a little bit more. So let's go in. Make sure it's going here. I'm just on a scrap paper scribbling a little bit. And I am just going to, we're just going to put some random dots. I just want to have a little bit lighter touch to here. I feel like having your eye move around this a little bit better. Just kind of helps with the flow. All right, so I just add some little white dots there. All right, okay. So next card to share with you. Oops, that is my other pieces here. I'm going to close this project kit. All right. This was a swap card I received from Nanette Verhagen. So this is actually a card that I will be making. I'm going to change it up a little bit, but I really like how the Berry Burst coordinates with this paper really well. So it's Berry Burst and Secret Sea. So thanks, Nanette, for sharing that. I'm going to have a class later this summer, maybe spring, to showcase this flora and fauna dies. I really, really am excited about it. I really think they're just so beautiful that I definitely want to do a class on them. So this is from Cindy Sheets. How cute is that? So this is actually that stamp that we would have colored in. All right. Then, now this is a great example from Jenny Ryder of using those dies and using the different designer series paper. So you can save your little scraps and you can make a little, your own paper. All right. Next we have this one. And this one is from Susan Birch. So a lot of intricate pieces on here, but very pretty. And okay, Lily of the Valley. So here is really showcasing that designer series paper. And this happens to be from the, oh, I don't remember what stamp set is. Brand new stamp set. All right. This is one of the gatefold cards. So this is actually a belly band that slides off. This is from, who is this one from now? This one is from Yolanda Nixon. So this slides off. It's just a little belly band. And then I love this. We are going to be doing this one in a class. Right. I'm going to be definitely doing this one. So look, stay tuned for that one coming up. It's probably going to be, you know, I don't know if it's going to be in a club or a regular class. I haven't decided yet. But I love that design. I think it's fun, and I want to share that with you. I want to share how to make it. All right. Can't get that back in at the moment. I shared that one. And then this, again, is using your little scraps. And then here is another Lily of the Valley. All right, so that is it for those two cards. Now, I did say I wanted to share something else with you, so give me a moment and I'll bring that all up. I just need to put these all back in their little home so I don't lose where they are and who gave them to me. Very important on that. I like to give credit where credit is due. And, oh, for Pete's sake. Okay. All right. This is the a flutter class I was talking about, and where did I just put it? Okay, there we go. This is a live that we just did last week. This class is still available. It's available until the 21st, but it includes the All Aflutter bundle, which is a stamp set and a punch. So this punch will punch out these. These are the cards that we made during the class. So you can go back and watch the replay on this class. It's called the All Flutter class. I'm just showing the different cards. I will post a link. I'll post a picture of the cards and a link. So it's just going to, picture's going to kind of look like this. And if you're interested in this class, you get 8 cards with it. You get a full pack of embellishment. You get a full pack of ribbon. And it includes the bundle. If you already have the bundle, I do have a class option for you to get the class without the bundle. And also there is a PDF tutorial only option. And again, if you are not in the United States, I cannot send you product. So your tutorial only option is the best way to go for you. All right. So let's take a break. We'll be back at 12:30 with our next set of, our next set of things. I know what I forgot, but I don't know where it is. Okay. Yeah, we're back at 12:30 for our next round of projects. So thanks so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you on the next round. And don't forget, your first clue was inspire.